Welcome to the My Amazon Guy podcast. My name is Stephen Pope, and happy Friday. Every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, we do a live Q&A. You can come in and ask me any question you'd like about Amazon. I'm going to start by prioritizing some member questions and then dive into everybody else. So super excited to talk to you today, and I really appreciate you joining me. All right, so we're going to dive into Jeffrey's question. Can I sell a vitamin via FBA with an audiobook attached? Can I add an audiobook to an existing SKU, or must create a virtual bundle with a new SKU? What are the basics of VB setup with an audiobook? So, Jeff, this is a complex situation, mostly because attaching digital assets into physical is not something that Amazon is set up to do, unfortunately. We do have one client that has attempted this, and it hasn't been too great. It was we tried it with like a mobile app download. And so I actually do not know if you can attach an audiobook specifically to a vitamin product. You may want to give out like a voucher code or a promo code for a heavy discount on your audiobook that they could obtain. That would be one way I could see it working, but I doubt it you can do a virtual bundle. Worth trying though. You would just set up a virtual bundle like normal. We do have a video on how to set those up, so check that out. Abdallah, thanks for being a member. One of my variations got 20 sales and 3 returns and says 2 inaccurate website information, no details. My NCX is very poor, and Amazon notifications tells me they might suppress my listing for that. I don't know which information is inaccurate to correct. And last week, PPC didn't work for 3 days. My sales were half the normal. My rank dropped from being in the top 10. In total, 40K search volume to only 10. What should I do? Last comment, even after my sales recovered, my rank didn't recover at all. So Abdallah, this is very common to happen, especially if like the product checked in incorrectly into the backend, like they ordered. So let's say they ordered this beer glass, this is the way, but instead they received the wine glass, for example. That would cause a high NCX rate. For those that don't know what an NCX rate is, that is customer engagement basically coming back and reporting and saying, hey, this is not a good customer experience. So you can access that inside of Seller Central. I'm going to see if I can pull it up on screen here. So that's performance notifications, account health. Let's see, where do they stick that? It's been a while since I've looked at this one. Not in reports, not in growth. Did they move it? I'm going to click on account health first. Let's see where that gets me. Not in account health. Huh. Well, there we go. Voice of the customer. All right. So let me share my screen here. And in here, you can see the NCX rate. So here's one with a very poor rating. So of 6 orders, 4 had a complaint, and very likely was because they received the wrong item. So let's see what the NCX says. Received the glass, it says I'm not drinking alone. So basically what happened is Amazon mixed the inventory, and it happened with 2 different types. So Amazon is notorious for checking inventory in not correctly. And so one thing that we try and do is always send case packed items. So it's like 48 units in one box. To try and avoid that. So what I would do is I'd go look at the voice of the customer, hit the see details button, scroll down to the recent customer feedback, Abdallah, see what it says, and you might be able to address it. When something has a poor NCX, it will affect advertising and your ranking, which makes sense. Sorry that you're experiencing that though. It's kind of not fun. Hassan Hughes becomes a new member. Thanks for joining us today. Feel free to dive in with your questions whenever you'd like. And Abdallah says, is BSR directly reflects as rank? Yes, it does. But not a keyword rank. It's a business rank, right? So how do you stack up against all of the other products in the category? So if you have a lower rank, it's like golf. Better ranks are lower. And the lower you rank, the more likely you have a higher sales velocity. And there's a lot of benefits to having a higher sales velocity. You rank better, you index for more keywords, and a lot of other benefits. House says, are you sure misspellings and search terms even matter? If you add misspellings that yield autocorrect results like garlic press, going to garlic press, what's the point of adding garlic to the backend? Because of the search volumes. If you could think about this as an exact match formula, right? So when somebody has the exact match on the misspelling, they are seen as a higher probability for being what the customer is seeking because the word is there as an exact match. Now, you could run an A/B test right? It's kind of hard to run A/B tests for this exact scenario, but the way you could do it is to have 2 garlic presses and have one with the misspelling and one without. Now, not a lot of people sell 2 garlic presses, right? So another thing you could do to A/B test this is include it, see what your rank is, then remove it, see what your rank is, and you're going to probably see it fluctuate. So that would be proof that I'm correct, that misspellings do help inside of the search term field. So give that a whirl and check that out. All right, so I think those are our member questions in queue. I'm going to go to the top of the queue now. So Noman says, hi, if a supplier places FBA labels incorrectly on cartons for different color variations and the shipment reaches Amazon's warehouse, what will Amazon do? They will check it in as if you don't want it to be checked in. So just like I talked about earlier with the beer glass, with the this is the way, and let's say the wine glass checked in, they're going to check the wine into the beer into the wine. It's going to mix the inventory, and the customer is going to receive the wrong thing. So what you can do is ticket to Amazon to audit the bins, to ask them to move them from A to B and B to A. But it's going to be extraordinarily difficult to verify they did it. Additionally, every time I've done that audit before, they don't necessarily complete every warehouse. So if you do one audit location, they might fix it there, but there's 30 other FBA locations they've sent your inventory to that are not, unfortunately, taken care of. Lost inventory was a big topic this week. I did a video that I released yesterday about items that have been lost by Amazon, hanging out somewhere for upwards of 6, 7, 8 months, sitting in a dock somewhere or a lost location. And all of a sudden they send out a big email telling everybody about it. So if that affected you, you can see how many units they checked in for you. For me, it was 17 units, which isn't a whole lot, but still, that's 17 units I was previously paid for that I now have to sell, and may not be good items. They might be seasonal items, etc. So for anybody who is frustrated by Amazon losing shipments, you should consider hiring my refund guy, clawback service. $500. The first $500 are free. That's how confident we are you will like the service. And there's a cool dashboard, everything you can check out there, myrefundguy.com. And this is for anything with lost and damaged units, refunds, mishandled returns, and lost inbound shipments. This is an a la carte program. You don't have to sign up for anything else with me, just this particular operation. And we will do a download of all of the files and then file tickets for you one-to-one and get every dime back. Since it's a commission-based program, we have to go get the money for you. If you don't, we don't get anything. All right, David asks, I got Brand Registry from you. Thanks. You're very welcome. We have filed more than 450 trademarks in the last year alone. He says, over a month ago and just started building my store. Can I also add ASINs that are not my brand into my store safely? Actually, yes, you can. I believe I demoed this about a month ago with one of my clients' fresher products. And what they did is, I think it was their Hungry Fan brand store. And they're okay with me sharing this, by the way. But in here, you can see that they've put in American Cornholes boards right there. They've got Hungry Fan. They've got grillware, and they're also their other brand here too, for Arctic Chill. And so this is living proof that you can put any item in your brand store you want. It's a website that you have full control over. Pretty loose rules with the brand stores. So obviously you can't link to your website or anything like that, but you can do whatever you want within the Amazon ecosystem. David says, you mentioned you still use non-GS1 UPCs. Aren't you worried at all? I started using GS1 UPCs after your video with the guest speaker. $30 a pop gives me a peace of mind. Thoughts? So I would say until Amazon forces you to do something, don't do it, because they get a lot, they get the big hot air and they're pounding their chest and they're like, hey, go do this. And then like 30 days later, they change the policy because of backlash. That happens all the time. That's why I'm a very reactive Amazon seller. I proactively tell everybody about what I'm seeing, but I also advise people to react, not proact, when it comes to Amazon policies. In this particular case, if you register one time with GS1, your brand, you will permanently be required to register with GS1. So you are making a permanent decision, which is why I suggest waiting. The other problem is it's impossible to change. It's not impossible, but it's like ridiculously difficult to change the UPCs of a past listing. And so it's like, okay, well, maybe you buy UPCs from GS1 for the new SKUs, but you leave the old ones where they are. That'd be my take. That's kind of what I've been recommending people do. And David, you're very welcome for filing your trademark. Glad that worked out for you. For anybody that doesn't know, you can get a trademark from my Amazon guy, $775. We will file your trademark within 1 business day. You can have brand registry in under 7. I have created the most comprehensive brand registry guide. Every error, potential possibility to prevent you from getting brand registry is covered with video and text. So if you order from us, we will help you out with that. Rana says, can we change UPC codes for old listings? We have listings. We kind of just answered that. You can. It's just really ridiculously difficult. You have to provide GS1 documentations and screenshots. And so I don't think it's really worth the effort, to be honest. You can, though. David also says, is it safe to do a test buy with my Amazon buying account? My email is the same on my seller account. Test buying, someone jumped on my brand listing, curious how they cloned my item. Yes, just don't leave a review ever, like ever. Any email that's attached to your Seller Central account, never leave a product review and you'll be just fine. It's totally safe to buy from yourself though. It may feel a little weird, but I do it all the time. I've never had a problem. And the reason I do it is because I wanted to make sure my item checked in correctly. I want to make sure that, the ship's in a box. Oh my gosh. One of the things that happened to me. So I'm looking for my hot sauce. Here we go on my desk. So I keep this as a reminder about how infallible I am, right? So I had the audacity to launch a hot sauce. I know nothing about hot sauce, by the way. I just thought it was a cool idea and typical entrepreneur, right? And so I ordered 1,000 of these and then I paid Amazon to do the prep work. So they bubble wrapped it, they put the sticker on, whatever. Now, mind you, this is a glass bottle, right? So this glass bottle here weighs 4.5 pounds. I could weight lift with this on my desk. That's how heavy it is, right? And so what did Amazon do? They freaking shipped my glass bottles in padded envelopes, right? And so oh my goodness, I could not believe it. I was so frustrated. I was like, and mind you, this was just barely over 1.5 years ago, right? So I've been doing this Amazon thing for a decade, and that one caught me by surprise. So if you're ever wondering how Amazon is functional, trust me, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. It is a siloed organization with a bunch of people running around with their heads cut off. And they only care about the customer. They don't care about the seller. Now, what's stupid, though, is why wouldn't they, as a customer-centric company, think twice about shipping out hot sauce in padded envelopes with the inevitable hot sauce that went everywhere in the mail and people opening it up and having that terrible experience? But no, they don't. They just do whatever they want. So what you have to do in situations like that is ship your own stuff in your own box before it gets to Amazon. That was the lesson I learned. That's why I do test buys. So I want to make sure everything's going to go according to plan. All right. Triff says, would you design your storefront if you're only selling one item so far? Absolutely. 100%. The storefront will be a defensive measure. It is not going to be offensive. So what happens is if I share my screen here, you can see, let's go to my Age of Sage store, right? Or we'll go to the Age of Sage product. Let's do that first. So we go to the product, and on here, if you click on my store, what happens is I go to the store, right? Now, if I didn't have a brand store, by the way, this is a single item brand. I only have 2 items now. We're working on launching a lot more. But if I were to click on this and I didn't have the brand store built, what would happen is it would go to the search page like this. And when it goes to the search page, what happens? Everybody and their dogs is advertising on my brand name. Spa Lux is advertising. Moonwater's advertising. So my item got kicked below the fold when somebody typed in my brand name, right? So that's why you need to have a brand store, even if you only have a single item, to avoid people clicking on the brand name, going to the search, and buying somebody else's product. It's also why this is a defensive play. Age of Sage brand store also gets a vanity URL, right? So I haven't actually done this. Let's see what happens. So if I type in Age of Sage, does my item come up in Google? No, not yet. So it might need a little bit more time to show up in Google, but this does work for my Momster brand, which has been established for a couple of years now. My number 2 hit goes straight to Amazon. That's a second reason why you'd still want to build your brand store, because you click on that, goes over to your brand store. Very, very helpful. Brett says, hi, Stephen. I'm about to send in my first shipment. I saw on settings, fulfillment by Amazon, FBA product barcode preference was set to manufacturer. I've changed it to Amazon barcode, but it gives the message that the change will only affect listings created after the change. I have my FNSKU printed on my packaging. Will this be an issue when I send to Amazon? All right, complex question here. and you changed it to the Amazon barcode. So yes, if you have a UPC or an Amazon barcode, they'll both link back to the ASIN, no problem. I don't really see any problems here at all. This will only affect new packaging. That's correct. So the reason why somebody would have a UPC versus an FNSKU barcode is because if you have an FNSKU, your item is bin located by itself and registers back to you as the seller. However, if you sell something with just the barcode like this, it can check in and be linked to anybody's inventory. So if we're all selling Nintendo Switches and there's 20 of us, basically would combine all the inventory. Now you'd be freaking crazy and insane to ship in an item with 20 other sellers and not use your own FNSKU label, because somebody else's return, somebody else's damaged or fake items or ripoffs could be impacted here. And so that's why you'd want to use FNSKUs if you're in that situation. But if you're the only one that sells your item and you're never going to distribute outside of Amazon, UPC barcodes make a lot of sense. But yeah, no problem there, Brett. Proceed. Jay says, hello, Stephen. How to solve hazmat review problems? If we provide the MSDS, will it be okay? Yeah, typically. So if the MSDS proves it's not hazmat, you're good to go. You get approved, you go live, no problem. Takes about 5 days. If you are a hazmat item, maybe you're an aerosol spray or something like that, you will have to get approved for the hazmat program, which generally has a 60-day waiting period or longer. They never tell you how long. And then once you get approved, you can ship into hazmat. They're going to limit your hazmat inventory, kind of like they limit shoes or clothing or stuff like that as well. Olan says, what are your initial thoughts or impressions on the brand bonus program that just rolled out? Actually, do not know what you're talking about. So if anybody has information on the brand bonus program, let me know. I might have to do a special video on that one. So it looked like it just like 1 hour, one day ago. All right. So there's an article up here on Adage. Amazon offers brands a bonus when ads drive sales to its sites. So that's pretty cool. So, whoa. Interesting. Not a lot of info so far, but basically you got a new advertising program that encourages brands to drive traffic directly to Amazon. Pretty smart play on Amazon's part, honestly. But yeah, that's all I know so far. Just Googled that headline. I will probably do some more research on that one because I think a lot of people will be interested in that. Junessa says, I set up my Build International listings with source markets in the UK. All of my ASINs have a sale price in the UK, which are showing the listings in the UK marketplace. The other EU listings should convert the UK prices to euros for local prices, but in many cases, the sale price is not reflecting in the EU, only the list price. How can I have the sale price shown in the EU marketplaces? So what I would do, Junessa, is go ahead and list your items in those marketplaces and manually edit in those marketplaces. Seriously, that's all you got to do. So you have an EU account, you got to drop down at the top there, just select a different country and just change the price. It's really should really be a basic change like that. Additionally, looking into my EU inventory, some of these products do not have a sale price set up, even though the sale price is in the UK. So again, I think you manually set it up in those marketplaces. Now, you may not have any inventory available to sell into Germany unless you have a second location for inventory in Euro proper, since Brexit divided that nation, those nation states, that is. So you might have to have a second location of your inventory, but still, you should be setting everything manually in each marketplace. You need to customize the text and language too, anyway. But Janessa, if you're thinking about like somebody in Germany going onto the UK marketplace, that would be a totally different conversation, and of course, it would show up in pounds. So I don't think that's what you mean, though. Leonard says, how does Amazon decide who to allocate the buy box to? So there's a bunch of different factors. If you're a new seller, it's harder to get the buy box even on your own listings. They take into account price and speed of shipping. So FBA used to trump FBM pretty handedly. That was one of the biggest things. I do have several videos on the buy box, and it's one of these is a beginner tutorial. I'll post this one for you. Buy box tutorial. And we may have a special guest here walking in. This is my wife, Emily. She joked with me today that she might end up helping me read some questions. But only until the baby wakes up. Only until the baby wakes up, guys. So she's got the baby. You got the baby monitor with you? I do. We got the baby monitor with us. All right. So you got to crowd in here. We didn't really plan this. Room. Yeah, I didn't really plan this one out. Okay. So So we're middle of the queue here. Actually, we haven't even got to the noon questions yet. This is all like pre-recorded questions. So let's go to the next one.
Okay. Do you have a video to how to apply to BR is in a different marketplace than where TM is?
Brand Registry, Trademark.
Okay. E.g. TM and BR in UK and want to get BR in Australia. Thanks.
All right. So if you want to get Brand Registry in any country, you just need one trademark and you can apply everywhere. No problem. So if you haven't gotten a trademark yet, I highly recommend getting it in the US with my Amazon guys. So we've got a service where we do that. We talked about it a little bit earlier, so I'll just be brief here, but you can take this US trademark and apply to Brand Registry in any country for Amazon whatsoever. All right, let's go to Sunny here.
Competitor had 0 reviews and added another listing to the main listing and transferred reviews from another product very different from what they're selling. Reviews describe something else reported.
So in this case, you can report them for black hat merging. And this is a very common tactic that can be easily reported and caught. So just file a ticket and report them. I guarantee you within a week or two, you will see them lose their reviews. I promise. Leonard says,
I'm not very good at this. If you have another seller on your listing, Spreetail, and a customer comes to your listing via your sponsored brand ad, could the customer still buy the other seller's product through your ad?
Yes. So generally speaking, you do not want to run brand advertising if you are not the brand owner, because you could be selling an item for somebody else. If you're the brand owner, it makes sense to do that because you get the sell anyway. But if you're a retailer, would not recommend. Instead, sponsored products, those are okay because you only show up when you're in the buy box yourself. But even still, it's possible that the buy box could rotate between clicking of the ad and landing on the detail page every so often. So generally speaking, Leonard, your ad budget is going to go down, which is why this behooves brands to be the only seller on their own listings, because retailers don't have a lot of reason to spend money on ads themselves. Sonny asks,
It and Amazon keep saying they will take action and nothing yet.
So Sonny, that's continuation there.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely need to file a ticket on this and be the squeaky wheel. But trust me, it'll eventually pan out. I promise.
Okay. Is this the same case for sponsored product ads? If buyer comes through your sponsored product ad, can they still buy another seller on your listings product?
They could. So sometimes you're going to see a credit in ads for a sale, but the item that the customer landed on was not the item they landed on. They didn't buy what they landed on, right? So they could have bought one of your other items and you'd still get credit in the ACOS, etc. So yes, that can happen all the time. All right, Glenn asks,
if I schedule a delivery to the FBA warehouse, but I don't action it for a few weeks, do I get charged for storage when I create the order or when it actually hits the warehouse?
What a great question. When it hits the warehouse, no ifs, ands, or buts, safe to have that pending. That would be really, really bad if Amazon charged you. Now, they do count it for your inventory limits for restock, but they do not charge you for shipping for an item they do not possess.
Old Hickory 12 says, for backend keywords, do singular plural rules work for Spanish keywords and misspellings too? Does fathers get included if write father in backend keywords?
Yes, we believe so. But nonetheless, when you are trying to get exact matches in for a specific keyword, it still often would make sense to include it on occasion. So we do a lot of that ourselves with our work, where we will include a pluralization or a different vernacular for the same word just to get the exact match in the system. But when we're going for mass indexing, we won't. When we're going for matriculation of ranks to bring them up, we will.
Old Hickory 12, for backend keywords, do hyphens like gluten-free get included if write gluten-free?
Yes.
If write 3, or will this also account for 3 and inch?
Potentially on the 3 versus 3 number. I haven't actually thought about that one before and haven't tested that one, so I don't know, but I would suspect it does as well. Please hit that like button, folks. Well, you got to read the rest of that.
Oh, sorry. Old Hickory 12 says, please hit that like button, folks. It's a simple thing to do, but Steven gets exposure.
I appreciate
Thanks, Old Hickory.
I appreciate that. Thank you for being a fan.
Oh, I'm
You got to keep. Yeah, we got so many to go. We got to go.
I'm so not good at this at all. Hi from last week. I am registered brand and one of my reseller listed some of my product first with my EAN. How can I take back control of my products? How does Amazon know they are mine? Happy uncertain face.
Happy uncertain face. So the way that they're going to know that they're your products is if you're using FNSKU labels and they're bin located directly to your brand. Now, if both of you did not do that, if you both use the EAN as the barcode, then they're going to mix it together, and any of them could be sold. House and Hughes says, if there's a lot of utility in making a title legible, I try making the first half of my title grammatically consistent, and then I keyword stuff with sporadic commas. I honestly, that's what I do. I think that's the best practice. I think someday we'll probably see some crackdown on titles and you'll have to make a change to that. But for now, yeah, that's exactly what you should do, House. Just go ahead and stuff it full of keywords for now, because the consumers are shopping mostly on main image and the first 3 or 4 words of your title today. So it's not about conversion, it's about traffic with the front facing details.
Sunny Rickhigh says, I only sell on Amazon, but also have a website. Customer contacted me on website about an order they placed on Amazon and wanted replacement for one of the parts. If I create MCF, would this?
No. Yeah, it's totally fine to do. It's not against terms of service. Totally safe. Now, a lot of times Amazon will send consumers to the manufacturer if they have a warranty problem or something they need to get done, like a part malfunction. So do exactly what you're doing. No problem whatsoever. All right, we scrolled down and lost our questions. We're gonna, so we're gonna go. Let's see how many member questions we have in queue. So we're gonna prioritize member questions next. So House and Hughes says,
are you sure misspellings and search terms even matter if you add misspellings that yield autocorrect?
So
you already answered this.
We already did this one earlier. Sorry. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay. Over the last 24 hours, Amazon has removed the product comparison modules on EBC. I've seen this removed on dozens of listings. Have you experienced it?
Oh my goodness, that would make me so sad. This is my favorite module. Why would they do that? Why would they remove the best thing that was in EBC? All right, so I'm going to go check my listings right now because I'm like, no, that would be bad. All right, so let's look at one of my listings. So this is my shark glasses. Let's scroll down. Product module is totally gone. Wow. You're right. Oh my gosh.
How did you not know?
Breaking news. No, I find out my news from so many sources. That's crazy. Let's check another one. So let's go to my store. That makes me
they didn't
so.
even warn you that they were taking
Yeah, yeah. This is total MO of Amazon, right? So let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. Why would they ditch the product comparison module? It's such a great module. Oh my gosh, it's totally gone. Wow. Wow.
So sad. I mean, I like using that one when I'm shopping.
Dude, it's like having a pseudo parentage at the bottom where you can click on increase your average order value and go over the other listings. So, man, that is damning. It's like really bad. I cannot believe they removed the product module. Seriously, that's my favorite. I have like probably 20 instances in video content where I say like, got to have your product module. So they just simply removed it. Wow.
Maybe it just had a bug and they'll bring it back.
Oh, I'm crossing my fingers on this one because, man, that's terrible news. Like I have all of my designers building content with product modules right now. Do you imagine the amount of work we're going to have to redo now?
That's sad. All
right. We're going to wait this one out through the weekend, but I'm going over to Slack right now and typing in my channel chat. Amazon has removed the product comparison module. WTF. All right. Just found out. Okay. Let's go to Glenn.
Glenn says, shows as inbound as soon as I set up the delivery. It's like these 6 boxes are not in the system, even though it shows as going to diff warehouses.
So whenever an item is being transferred between warehouses, it sometimes disappears or floats. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. If you are dropping this off at UPS and then you're waiting for it to check in the first 30 days, check-ins are also very strange and weird. Sometimes they show up in reserve. Sometimes they show up as inbound. Sometimes they just have a goose egg and it says 0. I'm not sure which of those factors might be affecting you, Glenn, but feel free to give us further info. SC Trojan Baller
What's the easiest way to load listing to other marketplaces? Data template? Will photos transfer using data template?
Yes, they will. You can also download the photo image files directly by doing a category listing export. That is a technical term, and it has to be enabled on an account. Category listing report. And I'm going to send a video to help you out, SC Trojan. So this is how to export photos. So follow that guide. That'll get you everything you need, and you can just simply dump that into the next marketplace. Going to our next member question from Vickery.
Hey, Steve, I'm uploading my main image for a new product, and I'm using the graphics from my distributor since the product time selling is a decal sticker. Amazon is rejecting the photo since it is.
Surprised there is no comment from you about them calling me Steve. Nothing?
Only your mom calls you Steve.
She continues, a digital image. So is there a good way around this, or do I just have to break down and take my own photographs? I would say, since the product time selling is a decal sticker, Amazon is rejecting the photo because it's a digital image. This is an unusual situation. Usually Amazon does not reject main photos. Are you sure the photo is 2000 by 2000 and it meets all the requirements and doesn't have like emojis and stuff in it? That's the only reason I usually see a photo rejection. I wouldn't normally see it for it being digitized. That's kind of weird. So I'm not really sure on this one, Victory, but if you want to post your ASIN, I could take a look at it, or you could post the photo or email it over to podcast@myamazonguy.com. Howson Hughes says, did SC Trojan Baller, where did you graduate from? South Carolina, class of 2019 here. All right, scrolling down to the next member question from Scuda.
Hello, can you recommend an outstanding Amazon photography service for the main image? My average CTR is very low, 0.1%. The lowest CTRs are in the auto campaign.
We do. So there's two services I recommend. Fast Photography Photo Service is one of them. Put a link in there for you for photos. Another one I like is POW Photography. They're also good. We've had great responses from both of them. Fast Photography Service, though, is extremely fast. So if you're looking for fast, that's where I would go. All right, let's go to the next question.
What's the best way to request eligibility?
With NARF, so unfortunately, NARF is a garbage program that still does not work, unfortunately. And I'm a big fan of the concept, but unfortunately, just simply doesn't work. You cannot fix an ineligible product, unfortunately. Got a new member from Old Hickory. Thank you for joining our channel.
Thanks, Old Hickory.
We really appreciate it. Also, another member from Nicholas. He just became a member as well. Thanks, Nicholas, for joining our team here. No Southern California Steve. Okay.
No, you did not go to Southern California. No.
All right. We're going to scroll up. I think that's all the member questions in queue. We're going to go back to the main queue here if I can figure out where
How do you keep track of this?
I don't.
So
I don't. That's why I hired a social media intern.
You need a social media person. I wish I could do it.
So Leonard says,
I am living in Europe, and whenever I request that Amazon calls me, my phone never rings. I have tried my girlfriend's phone too. Any suggestions on how to fix this?
So, no, I don't have a good suggestion on this one. You could try like a Google Voice number. Maybe try that. I think it has something to do with the area code setup and how that's calculated. That would be my best guess, Leonard. I have had issues with this in the past, but I've usually just used like a Google Voice number to get around it. Alfie, Leferi? I'm trying.
I am a seller on Amazon UK, and my products were selling in the UK and European countries as well. But now my products are only selling in the UK, and I don't know why.
Huh.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to say here.
Because the UK always, that's...
The Brexit is definitely the bane of existence for a lot of UK and Germany sellers. You're just going to have inventory in both locations, I think is the best thing I can say.
Do you use an outside repriser? We currently use FeedVisor, and we are unhappy with them.
FeedVisor was one of the first to market auto reprisers. They have the most functionality, the longest standing software. I'm not affiliated with them, but I have been to their Florida-based conferences many years ago, maybe even 6 or 7 years ago. I've been down to their conference. Thought it was pretty solid, actually. But if you're unhappy with them, have you considered trying the Amazon repriser? Maybe you don't need all the logic behind the repriser you're paying for. Maybe just the basic Amazon price match repriser is the way to go. We have videos on the repriser. You can check those out. Let's go to Arthur.
Hi, Steven. I got a friend. She has a product on Amazon.
You got a friend in me.
She has a product on Amazon that after profit margin after cost is $4.69 USD. Her conversion rate is 27%. PPC bid for her 10 top keyword at $1.70 a click. She wants advice.
So first of all, I called up my right-hand man at my Amazon guy, Dustin, and started singing Winnie the Pooh to him today. I think
Really?
I did.
Really? I'm sure Dustin loved that.
He was still in bed, and it was 8 a.m. by the way. It wasn't like a 6:30 call from your boss, and so he was still in bed. So I said, "Time to get up, time to get moving, time to make a friend today." So
this is getting weird.
I know, but
just because I'm here.
Yeah, I'm using you
so
I'm using you as an excuse to derail my Amazon questions. All right, so let me actually read your question now, since I was singing in my head. Profit margin 27%, bids $1.70. So what I would say is shoot for 11% tacos. That means for every $100 you generate on Amazon, you want to have $11 be spent on ads. So that's where you're going to target. Now, if you're in the first 90 days of a product launch, it's going to be more like 30%, 20%, but you're going to head downward towards 11. So that's your goal to try and get down. All right, let's go to Nicholas.
In order to increase my organic ranking for a key phrase, I do a PPC for it with high bid. Is it a good strategy?
It is, because the more impressions and sales and conversions you get on that keyword, the higher it's going to go. What I would do, Nicholas, is I would track the keyword rankings. You could do this through Helium 10. We are an affiliate of them. I'm a big fan of their service. We use them for our agency, have great results. And if you track your keywords, run a test, spend really high bids for 7 days, 14 days, and see where it does for your keyword. If it improves the ranking, then you know you made the right decision. Then the question is it worth it from the value that you have to spend? So find out. All right, Glenn says,
I've sent 6 boxes of stock into FBA. All boxes show as delivered and is going through the system. I'm concerned that at no time has this shown as inbound or in the reserved column, usually stock.
This is a normal problem, Glenn. So just wait 30 days. If they lose the box, they'll pay you as if it's sold.
Glenn is a frequent flyer.
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn comments like every single week.
Yeah, we see him. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of
Glenn.
Same question there. All right. How do returns for FBM orders work? Items are returned to seller and buyer pays return shipping unless the item was defective. When a return is issued, does it go back to Amazon's inventory number on Seller Central? So FBM returns will not increase the inventory count back in Seller Central. You have to manually process that yourself. But you are correct that you could have either the seller or the buyer pay the return shipping depending on various scenarios. A lot of people like returnless returns where they just get their refund and call it a day, especially items under $12. That generally makes sense. But in other various scenarios, you want to get that return back and maybe try and resell the inventory. Let's go to Amrit.
Been trying to brand register. Been declined 9 times now. Based in UK, and I have approved trademark, just approved a few days ago. Have been trying to brand register with a pending
trademark.
I've got 2 companies, Company A, which sells on Amazon, and Company B, which doesn't have an Amazon account. I tried to brand register Company A, but realized the trademark was for Company B.
The owner of the trademark is irregardless. It doesn't matter. Is that the right word? Is that good? Regardless, or is it irregardless?
You should always say regardless, not irregardless.
So she has a master's in journalism and in English.
From my past life.
Yeah. So, yes, owner of trademark doesn't matter. Now, a pending U.S.-based trademark can be used to get brand registry in the U.S. I am not 100% certain that a UK-based trademark can be used for a pending brand registry. So that might be your problem. If you would like to order a trademark from us today for $775, I can guarantee you we will help you clear brand registry. So there are various hiccups like brand name having to be affixed to the products and other things you may have to take into account as well. All right, so let's scroll down. I think we did that one already.
Okay. This one? Yep. Also, I was declined even after a video call where they checked my products by telling me to open random boxes which I did. They say something about abusive behavior for a reason.
So in that case, there's something on your email attached somewhere, somehow in the system, and they're just declining your brand registry outright. Not a whole lot I can coach you on that one. That's unfortunately, Amazon just has a system and they like to 80-20 things. So if they get rid of 80% of the bad actors, but it catches 20% good actors, that's a number that they are comfortable with doing.
I'm sorry, Amrit. I'm sorry this is happening to you. Jason says, what report do I download to get number or cost of goods sold monthly in Seller Central?
Number or cost of goods sold monthly. So cost of goods is not translated in Amazon directly. You will need to use a third party. I do recommend Helium 10. Use the My Amazon Guy code to get a discount, 50% off your first month. But if you're looking for P&L conversations, that is available. So with a P&L, they're going to show you all the profit and loss, not with the cost of goods, but with pretty much everything else. To access this, you're just going to go directly over to Seller Central, put your cursor on reports, go to payments, and then you can see the recent balance, where all that money is going. You can scroll down and see where all the fees are. And you can see, okay, maybe I have high advertising costs in my Amazon's fee section. This is exactly where you need to go and go check it out. So that's what I recommend you look at, Jason. Go check out the payments report and go look at the P&L. Trace says, hi, Stephen. Hello to you as
Trace.
well. And go to Rana.
Rana says, I bought UPC from third-party reseller, so I don't own UPC. And now I want to change it. Can I change UPC code now and get GTIM exception for that listing? I
don't recommend GTIM exemptions. I think you always need to have a UPC loaded. I also still purchase UPCs from third parties, not through GS1. Until Amazon forces me to do it, I'm not going to. But yes, they have very much beat the drum that that's where they're heading. So from a direction standpoint, critical. I would start buying them from the GS1, at least eventually.
Glenn says, the sellers are customers, not much competition to go anywhere else, though, so we are treated with contempt.
That's a tough situation to be in. So sorry, Glenn. Trace?
I come up with this product and have been copied many times now since I launched. I'm about to sell it out now that my manufacturer has copied it and is selling the unit on multiple ASINs. Here's my ASIN. Out.
So I don't see the ASIN link. We disable URLs in the comments because we get spam botted a ton. But if you type in the ASIN manually, we might be able to pull it up. Can you tell me what you think of it? I will if you type the ASIN in. Unfortunately, it's manual. All right, we covered that one. Glenn says,
Amazon have utter contempt for sellers, but we are customers.
True.
As long as there is no competition, nothing will change. Maybe Shopify.
Shopify is our last hope, right? Anakin Skywalker, and if Anakin comes through, maybe it will destroy Darth Vader and the Emperor while they're at it.
Wait, is Bezos Darth Vader?
Or the Emperor, one of the two.
I mean, he's going to space.
He is going into space. So Emperor Palpatine,
I kind of think we
Bezos.
should send all the billionaires to space.
Oh yeah, and they can. Yeah, Elon Musk and everybody else go to Mars, never come back.
Send them all up there.
Go away. Body Comp says,
if your products are manufactured in China, do you have to state that somewhere on your packaging with either a sticker or printing? This would be for Amazon FBA.
No, you do not. It's required for customs by China exports to include it, but not required for anywhere else. I don't even think it's required for imports, though I could be wrong on that. Nicholas says,
I wanted to order the A+ page from you, but the register page only asked for very few information, then asked $1,000. I got a little worried. Do you mind explaining more that will happen after the $1,000?
So part of being in business is trying to help set customer expectations. So it sounds like I might have let you down on this one a little bit. We charge $1,000 and we do everything to design the listing from head to toe, including putting a project module in it. Maybe we'll have to change that. And so what you do is you order it, you give us the ASIN, you add us to your account, we automatically trigger a request for further information. Part of the reason why I don't request a lot of information is because I get a higher conversion rate by asking for less stuff initially. And then we come back and say, hey, you gave us some cool stuff, but we really could use a high-res logo or photo of some kind to actually do justice on the listing. But yeah, so Nicholas, I actually review every single order that comes through my site. My creative director, Brent, will request further information if we need it. And we've done over 500 of these. So we like photos, logos, graphics, all that good stuff. We can give you the source files if you request them. Brand registry issues are out of scope for this particular service, but pretty much the whole design and loading it and getting it live is all in scope. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more comfort.
Those look good.
Yeah, there's some good ones in here. Chirp Wheel, they were on Shark Tank. There's some pretty good stuff, some
Chirp
color.
wheel's amazing.
I don't
like
have to
chirp
get.
wheel, like it's
Yeah.
amazing. You like roll that thing on your back and your back cracks.
Gonna have to send this
So good.
send this over to my client. We got another testimonial to add to your Facebook page. They are not short on them. Good afternoon from Kevin.
Good afternoon to you too, Kevin.
Oh,
Old Hickory, welcome. Oh, thanks, Old Hickory. Thank you. Seemed like a nice guy.
Nicholas says
I started. I don't know
Amazon,
what these things mean.
Germany, and the UK.
Wow. But they are using my US listing. Same picture, same title, same A+. They auto-translate for DE. Is this good? Can I have different content in different platforms?
I'm like a reading acronym reader. So
yeah, I
living.
don't know what any of these mean. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
It's like when you used to always say tacos, and I'd be like, why are you talking about tacos? Like, do you want
Make me
tacos for
hungry.
dinner?
Yes. That is one of the best Amazon jokes, to run into a room and start confusing people. Talk to CEOs about it all the time. So if they're using your copyright, just file a copyright infringement. You'll get them taken down. It's almost instantaneous. Go report them through Brand Registry, Nicholas. It's a slam dunk, I promise. Rana says,
I am seeing items that say return not expected. What does this mean other than Amazon gave them a full refund? I'm not getting the item back and it will not be eligible for reimbursement.
So I'm not exactly sure on the vernacular on that particular term, but if an item is not returned to you, Amazon will pay you as if it's sold. So I'm not really sure on this one, Ron. I might have to consult Tyler Jeffco over at Seller Accountant on this particular question, but I'll find out. Glenn says, if I buy FB ads, Facebook ads for my product and people go to Amazon where we sell it cheaper than on our website, does Amazon like this? Yeah, we just talked earlier in the show about how they just came out with a program in the last 24 hours to incentivize this exact thing. So yes, it's going to, not only are they going to incentivize it, they're going to promote you higher. Absolutely.
Wow.
SG says,
does IPI have straight impact on restock limits? What other factors impact the restock limits? Last week, my IPI went down by 2 points, but restock limits went up 100 units.
So yes, keep in mind that the restock limits are less of a symptom at your job of doing good sales and more of a symptom of Amazon literally just being out of space, like completely out of space. And so the reason why your restock limit went up is because Amazon had a tiny bit more space available, which is probably why we saw them catch up on their supply chain fiascos and check in some lost inventory this month. So check out my video on what is lost. What is not saved is lost. Nintendo meme 101 for you. Body comp.
If you filed for a trademark 4.5 months ago, how do you know if it went through? When I look at my status, it says has not been assigned. How long does it take? And what if you made a mistake with codes?
So body comp, if we filed the trademark for you, just send an email to trademark@myamazonguy.com and we will find out the status on your behalf. If you did not hire us, go see your attorney or wherever you filed that. They can find out for you. It would be pretty normal for trademarks to be taking longer than the 6-month process. Because of how backed up they have been. I don't know why COVID backs up government agencies like trademarks. No clue. But
they were all working from home.
So
and maybe they couldn't.
Right? Like, but I don't know. We
it's
get
just an excuse.
We work remote. We just did a remote culture live show yesterday, and people get stuff done.
Are we really comparing like your ability to get stuff done to like the government's ability to get stuff done? Like,
I guess. I mean, I would be a terrible bureaucrat.
Yeah. Who's this? Metab, best cheap traffic for Amazon?
I would say that doesn't exist. Facebook and Google are not cheap, but they're consistent. Pinterest is cheap, but definitely not any better. I would say influencer traffic is probably the big win here. If you can get influencers to hype your product, that's the cheapest traffic you can get for Amazon, in my opinion. Also,
get on TikTok.
Maybe.
No?
Maybe.
Not TikTok these days? Instagram?
I don't know. Trump almost killed that program. They might have brought it back, though. So with that in mind, the other thing I was thinking about, though, was if you have your own website and can collect emails, blogs, and send out an email blast, that also can be very helpful in product launch. Leonard says...
I'm living in Europe. Oh, we already did this one. We did that one.
Okay, my bad. Let's go to...
Okay. This is like incredibly difficult to do.
It is.
Like,
it is.
I can't keep track. Product comparison module is gone. We already did that.
Yeah, I guess maybe I scrolled up. All right, so...
where are we? Yeah,
titles, descriptions. All right, let's scroll down here.
Okay.
Do we use Ali, I don't know. APIs? Is that what you're asking? Not sure. All right. So
we've got to hire you an assistant.
I know.
This is so hard to keep up
What's
with.
the best way to, we did eligibility.
Oh, okay. Wait. It was the one asking if you use AliExpress.
It just, AliExpress.
Yeah,
so
that's what they were asking, I think.
I'm not a big fan of Alibaba. I don't do any of my sourcing myself because of that.
He's saying, do you use AliExpress or US suppliers?
Yeah. So the reason I don't is because I think that a direct relationship with a manufacturer is fundamental. You need to go drive out there, fly out there to China and meet them in person for a long established relationship. If you don't do that, at the same time though, like if it's a bucket of water and they're doing bribery and schemes over in China and like faking inspections, you go over there and you put your hand in the water. And then when you leave and you pull your hand out, the water goes right back to where it was. So even if you do all these things, it still won't be very solvent. I'm personally on a crusade to make stuff in America. So no, I don't use AliExpress or that. So I use US suppliers whenever possible. Junessa says,
hi again, Stephen. How come my inbound FBA shipments are marked closed, even though they have not been received in the warehouse yet?
This is because Amazon system is incompetently not keeping track of your inventory. Truth be told, that's the facts. And so even if you try and ticket it and say, hey, what, WTF here, they'll be like, oh, you can't investigate this until 60 days pass. But that's the current state of affairs. That's why our service, My Refund Guy, is so popular right now, is because we fight for those exact situations. I don't know what you mean by no, still wrong. I don't know. Probably because you wrote that comment like 20 minutes ago, and I don't know what it is in reference to.
Okay, Glenn, again, you missed the first part of question, missing 6 boxes. 6 boxes sent in, showing as delivered and going to different warehouses, but still not showing as either inbound or reserved.
So if it's been over 45 days, Glenn, I would just file a ticket and ask him to pay you for the reimbursement there.
I think, okay, so he's talking to someone else about USC. So let's get that. Yeah.
Could be. All right. So, all right. Fake news.
This is so hard.
All right. Let's go to the next one. So Scuda.
Thanks, Steve. Here's another one. Is there a place to search how much duty import taxes we have to pay for any given HTS code? There is, but I'm not the guy to ask this question. The guy that would know this question is Import Yeti. So we should summon David Applegate to this one. I'll have to remember to tag him and see if he can answer it. Let me just take a screenshot and send him an email right now. If I don't do that, I'll forget. So here we go. Oh, nice screenshot. Check out the screenshot, guys. Yeah, we both look bad. We both look like we are not getting enough sleep with a newborn baby. Yeah, 5 a.m. this morning. Oh my gosh. Hi again, Stephen. How come my inbox? I thought we already did this one. How come my inbox? Yeah, my inbound FBA shipments.
It's almost like the questions are coming in twice.
Yeah, this is weird. In such cases, how can I chase up that shipment that should have been signed in and received in Amazon warehouse?
So you can file tickets or click the reconcile button or hire My Refund Guy. That'd be my best bet. All right. I don't think I've met you, Dan, before. Welcome to the channel.
Hi, we are FBA wholesalers. Can you help us grow or just work with private labeling?
I can definitely help you, but the problem you're going to have is I'm going to tell you to go direct to retail on Amazon. You have no reason to hire any retailers to sell on your behalf on Amazon. They don't add any value. They make it harder. So if you want to spend advertising and grow your brand, you need to open up a Seller Central account and manage it yourself. Now, with that said, if you have a really great retailer partner, you want to hire us to improve their listings and integrate us and pay us to help them help you, by all means do it. We've done that, I don't know, probably 5 times over the last 4 years. It works out, but it's just not usually a long-term solvent solution to growing your sales. People hire us because they want us to grow traffic and sales.
Glenn, UK, you have to send to individual countries now. It's a killer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
the UK,
so at least, UK is by itself an orphan, but last I checked, you could send to Germany and have most of Europe proper be okay. But could have changed in the last 6 months.
All right, Nicholas, in order to increase my organic ranking for a key phrase, I do a PPC for it with high bid. Is it a good strategy? We already did this.
I know we did.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a mess.
All right, let's scroll down. I think I jarred down here.
Okay, what happened?
I just made up a word, by the way. I said jarred. Sounds like sharded and
just don't say
darted.
That. Stop.
Mixed together.
That's gross.
All right, so let's scroll down. How do we get Amazon?
Hickory. Wait, okay, is this a new question?
I think it is.
Okay, from Old Hickory. How do FBA? How
does Amazon automatic removal orders work? Had a client who had disposable order in April, but wasn't fully fulfilled till July. Is there a way to intercede in interim to have a product shipped to seller? No, there's not. Again, Amazon's supply chain completely jacked up. Does not function, does not work. It's problematic. And so what you're going to need to do is just simply wait it out. There's no action you can take. That is just how jacked up the supply chain is right now.
Yeah, we already did that one.
Okay. All right. Did it really go back up?
Okay, like so it's because I'm here. Like because I'm here, it is messing up all the
Okay,
questions.
how do you
it doesn't make any sense because
I'm not. I keep scrolling down.
We're at the bottom of the scroll.
I keep scrolling down. Thank you, StreamYard. All right. Do you prefer to take the external traffic to Amazon, or should we make such a funnel that we are building our email list outside and getting things sold out? It just depends on your objectives and your ability to execute. So personally, I'm a little lazy when it comes to being an Amazon seller because I'm so focused on running the agency and helping others. I don't do a lot of product email collection myself. But what I do recommend is that if you can, especially in certain categories like supplements, especially getting the email list by giving them a promo code to go off of Amazon and then to Amazon, you're going to lose some in the conversion funnel. But if you give them a sweet deal, it's worth it.
Sweet deal.
Yeah. So how frequently should we optimize the listing? I would say every 30 to 90 days, depends on the listing. Keywords can rotate, run a PickFu test on your main photo, that kind of thing. We are big fans of PickFu. I have an affiliate code for PickFu. I will post that in the chat. I think it's just pickfu.com/myamazonguy. It is. So if you want to get 50% off PickFu,
ooh,
I know
50% off.
I pitch these guys because I really like them. By the way, my father, he was at Prosper Show, went and met the team over at PickFu. Good people, really good people. Let's go to Amrit.
So guys, is it still worth me trying to get Brand Registry through
yourselves? Yes. So get the trademark and then go file Brand Registry. So if you've got it now, I think Amrit was the one that had the rejection for like abuse, and he's like, I don't know what happened. I'm not abusing the system. But if that's the case, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But a U.S. trademark is the best way to get Brand Registry. That I do know.
Last question from Old Hickory. Maybe. Pesticide issues keep recurring despite scrubbing content for pesticide words and used backend compliance trick found in your video. Anything else proactive that can be done? So
there's 2 videos I have about pesticides. What you're going to have to do is file for what the dropdown will say, like put the classification here. And then following that, if you're in a I know.
Oh my gosh, I lost
it.
Okay,
it's good.
Okay.
If you're in a category for something that can be perceived as pesticides, like bed sheets, I have no idea why bed sheets shows up there. And then supplements and other categories, there are keywords like antimicrobial, words like that. We have a giant internal list that we keep on words never to use on Amazon because we find that they're getting listings yanked. If any of you end up getting your listing yanked and you can't fix it yourselves, hire us. We're pros at relisting statements. That's not a word. Listing reinstatements. Can't talk today. So because
I'm here, I am ruining.
So if you got a copyright claim, you got a pesticide issue, whatever, got the Lost Dogs Found page. We can help you out with that. Put the service into the chats. Let's go to the next question.
Amazon SEO says, do you prefer to take the external traffic to the Amazon? I'm imagining like the jungle. Or should we make such a... Wait, I thought we already answered that one.
He did. He came in, he asked it on LinkedIn and went to YouTube because it took me 20 minutes to get to the answer.
Okay.
So same answer. Both depends on your objectives.
Today is a blessed day. We are on the hunt for blue line pie and Chewbacca?
Chewbacca?
No, not Chewbacca is ready to feast. How does this make you feel?
I don't know, but I'm looking at his profile pic and I think he's holding a cat. So I'm kind of wondering if he's talking about his cat. So
okay,
not really sure.
Did we do this one yet? When launching a new parent listing with 6+ variations, is it bad to target the same keyword for several ASINs? Cons, only one rank, but you bid on the keyword for multiple ASINs. What are other cons?
This is a question of keyword indexing versus keyword matriculation. So the more iterations of the same keyword you have, you increase your density and increase your index probabilities. Additionally, the more keyword density, the more likely you're going to go from a lower rank to a higher rank. So sometimes it can be very beneficial to have the same keywords be used on multiple childs. Now, if the child listings are more complicated or more complex than, say, a color listing or a size, you may want to have unique keywords because it will help them uniquely rank. For example, my wine glasses, I have different variations designs, and somebody who's looking for a Star Wars glass isn't going to be the same guy looking for Chewbacca the cat glass. So, or fine. Yeah. So
I didn't know what he was asking. Body comp again. Generally, how many months does it take to find out your strongest keywords? And if so, what is the max you should have?
You can find out usually within the first 2 weeks of launching a listing because they index fastest and you convert very well on them. But those keywords will evolve over the first 90 days. You should absolutely be tracking your keywords to see how they rank day to day because it can help you figure out why sales are up and why sales are down.
Hi, Steve. Is that HTML bold?
Yep.
Okay. How are HTML bold and what is BR in HTML?
Break line.
Oh, break line tags allowed for the product description.
They are. They're still fine. You can't use li and ul bullet points anymore, but you can still use those two. They're totally fine. We've not had any problems with it.
Amazon says, I have a listing that has $24 price while others have low, what is that?
$20 average.
$20 average. We are giving some extras, bonus items with main products. So what do you think we should do?
Well, this is a question of your objectives, right? So if you try and lower your price, you lose your margin, and it's going to be kind of like the US Postal Office where it's a death spiral and you're going to lose on price, right? So that's option one. Option two, you maintain your price, lose some of your conversion, but make money and pivot to other products and categories and simply ignore it. Option three, convince the customer why they should buy your item at 24. Sometimes by building a community, you can get people to justify that extra $4. Other times you have to add some additional benefits or features or add-on items into your kits, make it unique, right? Way harder to rip off a kit than it is to rip off a simple item like this, right? Like a little bottle opener.
Also, its main KW has keyword has 45% of the total SV of the niche. Do you recommend to just get rid of the inventory or try to rank?
So I'm going to tie that into your other question here. I would say, again, depends on your objectives, right? So if you went from like 100 units a day down to 3 units a day, then I would liquidate, right? But if you went from 100 units a day down to like 80 units a day, I would ride that one out. So it just really depends on there's a lot of variables to that question.
What are your thoughts on how Amazon will evolve with Andy Jassy at the helm of the Death Star?
I have no idea. It's pretty much the equivalent of putting Matt Damon into Star Wars universe, right? Like you have no idea what Matt Damon's going to do.
Wait, wait.
Yeah.
What is that? Matt Damon's going to be in Star Wars?
No, he's not,
okay.
right?
I thought maybe that was entertainment news.
Initially, I was going for Matt, who was in Star Wars, but I didn't remember his last name, and then I thought of Matt Damon, so that's why I just ran with it.
Got it.
So,
but it's like, it's like going from one dictatorship to another.
Yes.
Like you never know what's going to happen.
No idea.
Because it creates like a power void. It's like North Korea.
Yeah. I mean, all the exec changeovers you're going to see, it could have a very big domino effect, or it could take a year or two to find out. So.
Okay. So we skipped a question from Home Goods.
Repost it because it's impossible for us to find it.
Yeah, it's really, we're having a hard time today.
And do not put URLs in your comments. That could be why we missed it.
Yeah.
Looking to join soon, Mag. If you want to apply to work at My Amazon Guy, if you are inside of the United States or Canada, please send your resume to jobs@myamazonguy.com. If you are international, please send your resume to recruiting@myamazonguy.com.
Amazon seller, I had all my products under one brand. However, when filed the trademark, that name was unavailable. I filed another trademark under a different name. Can my product's brand be changed to new brand? Yes.
In fact, we have a service for this. It's called an Amazon brand name change. It is extraordinarily difficult. So if you go to this link that I'll post here, Mark, this is for brand name change. And there's a lot of things that we do. We sometimes have to delete your listing. We recreate the parentage. We file tickets. We call Amazon until it gets fully resolved. So Mark, if you want to try this yourself, good luck. It's so bad that we end up doing many of these, and it's expensive at $1,000. So if we don't succeed, we'll reimburse 500. So we're pretty confident we can do it for you. It's just grueling work, very, very difficult. All right, let's go to the next question.
He's talking to Nicholas. You can and should create your own German listings. The auto translate is pretty crappy.
It is. I definitely agree. Pay somebody on Fiverr to do some translation work for you.
Thank you. I did create my own listing, but with same ASIN because same product. So they directly took the US listing. Maybe I should have new ASIN.
I think the same ASIN's fine because the reviews will sometimes combine. Global review ratings combining would be beneficial to you.
I have a listing that has.
We cover that. He went to YouTube.
Okay.
All right.
For Amazon reimbursement from inventory adjustment report, are we going to be reimbursed for reconciled units or for unreconciled units?
You'll be reimbursed for reconciled units. If anything is lost, you can still ask for reimbursement. They'll likely pay for it. Again, myrefundguy.com is the service you want to check out for that.
My UK ASINs are same as all European, but I have created them.
I think that's a net benefit. Global reviews will combine.
Glenn, thanks, Mrs. Pope. Nice to see the obvious brains behind the operation. Finally, it's true. Yeah, I'm the one who doesn't understand any of the acronyms, but I'm definitely running things.
I thought it was Sage, the 2-year-old.
Oh my gosh, yes, Sage is running the house.
We got the Age of Sage box.
Oh, we do.
Us,
yeah, we only name products after our kids.
Yeah,
we
for
can't
funsies.
come up with anything else.
Well, I came up with Momster, but you hate the brand name.
I hate that brand. Don't tell people I hate it.
That's a dirty little secret, guys. I had this brand name. I'm the creator of Momster, and my wife hates it.
It's because like mom is just like a term that's not very chic right now. Like mama is chic, but mom just sounds like mom jeans.
You hear your mom name all day long. I get it. I understand.
My kids are just screaming mom at me all the time. That's all.
I get it. But yes, we were walking our kids, pushing them in the stroller, and I said, "Hey, Emily, this one's available on namecheap.com. Should I get it?" And you're like, "No." And I'm like, "It's the greatest thing I ever created." It's like such a short name. I love short names, and it's got like 2 words in it. It's amazing.
Wait, where are we?
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
I've ruined your whole show.
We're gonna jump down and go upwards. All right.
Okay. My PPC strategy: start auto campaign when KW work. I put them to manual to build a little more, and I removed then from the auto negative KW. Then
Keyword.
Iterate. Oh, sorry.
ACOS. So this is a very common strategy, but I think it's very basic. I think you can do better, Nicholas. Build every campaign type from day one. I have a 40-minute video that I have shot already coming up for the Kevin Sanders podcast, and it'll be released with a full guide on how to set up segmentation day one on a product launch. Living proof that this works is my Age of Sage product, right? So I spent $11,000 in the first 3 weeks and generated
so pretty.
130.
That's so pretty. Look at how pretty that is.
Hey, she does like my designers.
No, I like Age of Sage. It's just like Monster.
It's the reconfigured brand name.
This looks nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. So this particular product, we launched it, did $135,000 in 3 weeks.
Sent it to all the women in our family.
We did. We got lots of good feedback. Did better than the hot sauce broken that we sent last year.
Hey, that hot sauce is good with chicken nuggets.
It's especially if you got Dino chicken nuggets, right?
Dino chicken.
That's a shout out for you, Andre Lozovic.
And our kids who love Dino chicken nuggets.
So yeah, Nicholas, you can totally do what you're saying, but it's even better if you build every campaign from day one, in my opinion. Is it bad to have a third-party seller that Amazon is getting sued now? Yes, because Amazon will pass the buck to you. Opa says, been 3 weeks since I submitted the printout. Still no approval or response. Waiting on my product to be approved. Okay, so you might need a little bit of assistance. We have a couple of guys in the sales team over at Amazon we hit up very frequently. Opa, if you want to send your information over to me, podcast@myamazonguy.com, I will introduce you to a guy that could probably get your problem fixed. Bodycomp says,
thank you very much.
And Scooter,
we'll wait for that HDS code answer. Another one. What happens when I have the same keyword in multiple campaigns? How does Amazon allocate impressions?
Wherever they think they're going to get the biggest conversion is we're going to allocate impressions. Bid rate will affect it. So will the relevancy of the keyword and other factors. Data says,
just launched a new product, but sales are slow and have PPC running. How to increase sales velocity and reviews.
you need sales to get sales. That's the bottom line. And so I would recommend that you get as many sales in the door in the first 14 days, a la honeymoon period style. Make sure you have the main image PickFu tested to make sure it's the best main image. Have your A+ content built, all of the SEO, photos, etc.
Captive Team says they are retail listings. They can manually be requested to be removed. How do I do that?
You can request it by a generic ticket. However, I've never once seen that the retail listing gets removed, unfortunately. Basically, they will claim they removed it. They will make the changes you requested, and then 6 months later, you'll randomly see your listing revert back to it. It's like managing 4 catalog versions with ghost versions of the same listing, and it causes all kinds of data problems.
Thanks, Stephen. This is my last question. In my EU listings, I noticed that my USA fulfilled listings for the same products are showing on all EU marketplaces.
That's beneficial as long as you want to do that. Now, if you were selling an item that would only work in the US, let's say you're selling an air purifier, but you have no capacity for the German plugs, that would be a problem. You may want to disable that. But for the most part, totally safe, no problem there. Get some extra sales, not very many. Maybe a couple people will pay the shipping to ship from the US out of Amazon over there. You also might get some hijackers, though. Be on the look for hijacker issues.
Yes, we're new to the channel. We're interested in my refund guide, but let me rephrase the question. We buy wholesale and sell on Amazon. Can you help us find more suppliers?
We don't do sourcing. Yeah, we don't do sourcing. We're really good at growth hacking, but we're not good at sourcing. There's just so many competitive low cost options for sourcing these days. I think it's commoditized. It's not really a good way for me to specialize as an expert. But I would say if you're buying wholesale, we can help you grow your sales and manage the listings and build out A+ content, maybe file a couple trademarks, but sourcing won't be something we'll help you with.
Hey, Stephen, Amazon search term optimizer says 239 of 249 bytes are low value because those words already appear in my title, description, etc. Is that a problem?
It is not. This is the second phase of SEO, phase 2. And anybody that wants to get a free guide today on our SEO phase 1,
Ooh, free guide.
You can go over to our website, go to services, search engine optimization phase 1. And you can put your information in. We'll send you a free guide. But this particular phase 2 is the pink word update. And this is where you are going to remove those phrases in pink and switch them out to other words to gain incremental indexing. So it's not a problem. It's an opportunity, Gianna. And so what we do is we use a variation of different possibilities. We go through and help identify what to improve them with and try and increase the incremental indexing. We also have a really awesome podcast we did with Michael Erickson on the Ad Badger podcast where we talk about this very topic. For anybody that wants to listen to that, I've sent the link into the chat. One of our best podcasts we've ever done, ever. And so really excited about that. So, all right, let's go to the next question.
Jason says, where do you get all your current Amazon info from?
Apparently on my podcast.
Just wondering. If you have any I'm not aware of.
Apparently, when I show up on my podcast, people bring information to me, Jason. So on our podcast today, we learned 2 things. We learned that the product module is missing from enhanced brand content right now, which I did not know. And I've already forgotten the second thing we learned. It was because Amazon is incentivizing driving traffic to Amazon. So this happens all the time on my podcast, which is why I love this format with rapid fire questions, because I learn things just as much as I teach. For example, I learned about ZonGuru's tool to show the backend search terms of a competitor listing, which no other tool had ever done that before. So yes, tune into this podcast if you want to learn things, because all the news comes here. DK says,
hey, Emily and Stephen, any thoughts or feedback from your clients on the current cost of containers and shipping prices from China?
It's
40
bad.
Foots are going for 20,000.
Really bad.
20,000?
24,000 was the last quote I got.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were getting that for like $3,000.
That was 2 years ago.
It was
2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So containers are extraordinarily expensive. This is not going anywhere. Buckle up. Find local sources for your goods and manufacture. I'm a
Yeah,
firm,
like I was trying to buy
believer.
an iPad and it was like a 60
Not
day
even
wait. It
stock.
was like a
Not
60
even
day
a
wait.
stock.
Like iPads are out of stock. It's crazy.
This Christmas is going to be worse than last Christmas for stock, and a lot of people went out of stock last year. So buckle up, get your inventory in now. Everybody's going to be out of stock. You're going to be rewarded if you do it. That is if you can ship it into Amazon, of course.
Ryan says, ever feel like PPC sales are cannibalizing your organic sales? Also, do organic sales have more ranking juice than PPC?
Ranking sales have way more organic juice than PPC. We posted a graphic on this, the A9 algorithm update. I might be able to post it on my screen here and talk about it briefly. But yes, this is, oh, wow, that's small. Let's blow that up. All right, here we go. So here you can see what affects SEO, everything from seller authority to PPC and SEO, conversion rate, reviews, organic sales, you name it. All of these are factors, but notice the bar chart here. Everything towards the right has a larger impact. PPC sales all the way down here at 5%. Now, it does help. Baby's almost up. You can go help out, Adam.
Okay.
All right. So thanks, Emily.
Bye.
Love you. So yes, PPC can help your SEO, but it is not the only factor. You do still need to do a lot of work on your listing. A+ content, very heavy impacts to this. Do you only do PPC launches or SFBs as well? I don't really like SFB. I think it's too risky. I think that I've heard way too many horror stories of people using search, find, buy, and then getting burned and losing keyword rankings. How many keywords do you usually start with when you launch a new product? So averages, in the first 30 days, you're shooting for 1,000 keywords. By day 90, it should be 3,000. So if you do that, you're in great shape. With my Age of Sage product, I did 3,100 by week 3. So if you do it really well, you can accelerate that timetable. Hamza said, what's your opinion on the things you do when you're going out of stock? If you've gone out of stock for more than 30 days, what would be your relaunch strategy? Just treat it like a relaunch, really. Make sure it's all fully optimized. Go to town in the first 24 hours of it coming back online. Maybe run a little coupon or a discount when you come back in stock, and just try and spurn it a little bit, or jart it, as I made up today. Manuel says, I'm going to relaunch my PPC campaign starting with a full optimization of my listing. What is your advice for relaunching a product? Do I need any tools revenue-wise at Atomic? Not really. I think you need to do heavy PPC spend. You need to have everything optimized on the detail page, A+ content, videos present, you name it. If you can, run some social posts as well to try and push the traffic, but basically just treat it like a regular launch. Make sure everything is ready and hit the pavement as fast as you can. Glenn says, thanks, Mrs. Pope. Nice to see the obvious brains finally coming in. I think we're caught up on questions. So I'm going to take one more question, and that's the My Amazon Guy show today. What forecasting model do you use for inventory management? Honestly, no forecasting tool is useful right now because the restock limits and because of the storage problems and the supply chain being a wreck. Doesn't matter what you use. You could use you could be the smartest person in the world with the best formula on your Excel sheet. It still wouldn't matter. There's too many black swan events that are causing problems here. So in terms of inventory management, if you got more than 10 SKUs, maybe you need a software to track it so you can see where your shipments are. Maybe you just need a really good carrier. There's a lot of ways you could tackle this problem. But for an operations standpoint, if you want to use a model, go ahead. But I don't know what a model is going to do for you if you can't even reship it when the restock limits hit you. So that's why I'm kind of a little soft on that idea. So thank you. If you enjoyed today's podcast, simply just write a thankful, thoughtful, positive note in the comment section. Helps us with the algorithm. All comments are very, very helpful. We do this every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this on the replay, you can still leave a comment. I will still give you an answer. And consider being a member of our channel just by going to youtube.com/myamazonguy and hit the join button. Also, consider hiring us as an agency to grow your sales on Amazon. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and I will be a speaker in New York City if you want to meet me in person on September 30th at the White Label Expo. So super excited to announce that. We'll see you then. Have a good one.